I'm Laura Talley. I'm the Planning Director for the City of Boerne. Some of you heard about the Unified Development Code that the city has been undergoing for the last year and a half. After the update of the Master Plan in 2018, the Unified Development Code was the next step in updating our ordinances. Essentially, the Unified Development Code is a compilation of all the development-driven ordinances, the zoning ordinance, subdivision regulations, sign ordinances, and so forth. What does it mean to realtors and developers specifically is what we're here to talk about today. You'll see a video in a minute that will talk about the Unified Development Code in general, but what does it mean for realtors and developers and builders? Really, the Unified Development Code is meant to put the documents together. For realtors, this will be easier for them to refer to their prospective buyers. It'll be easier for them to look up information regarding zoning and setbacks and any stipulations of individual subdivisions. For builders and developers, of course, the development codes will all be in one place for you to find, and again, easier to cross-reference. Unified Development Code for the builders and developers specifically will be easier for processing. You'll see some changes in the Unified Development Code that will shorten processes and consolidate some of the processes. You'd be able to zone and annex at the same time, for instance. So it will shorten some of the time frames, which is one of the concerns that we heard from the developers when we had the developer forums a year and a half ago. Their concern was they wanted predictable processes and they wanted to be able to move more quickly. So we have accommodated that with the new Unified Development Code. Hopefully in the video it'll give you a better idea of what's coming, but please watch our website, come to the public meetings. With the circumstances of the day, it's been delayed. We had planned to adopt the Unified Development Code by April, and it looks like that delay will probably cost us another month, month and a half. So we're looking at an August update of the ordinances into Unified Development Code, with the zoning ordinances to follow a zoning map update, which will essentially just redefine what the zonings are. It's not really a change in zoning specifically, but it will redefine what the zonings are. And those will follow the Unified Development Code update. So likely we will be finished with the process in August or more likely September. Please watch the video and look forward to seeing you in our meetings.
Hey everybody, Mayor Tim Handren here. Today we're going to talk about the Unified Development Code. Now this is a complicated thing that's got a lot of changes that are going to affect Boerne, and it may not affect you directly at home right now, but it does affect the entire community. And so I wanted to bring in the folks who have been shepherding the changes in the Unified Development Code to help it tell the whole story.
What is the UDC?
This document combines the various city ordinances into one document. This will include zoning regulations and subdivision regulations, as well as procedures and standards related to construction, development services, and utilities.
Why adopt a UDC? It sounds a lot like the Master Plan.
By combining our codes, the city can better relate all sets of regulations to minimize redundancy, reduce contradictions, and create a more streamlined, uniform development code that will be much simpler to use.
If it's not the same thing, what are the differences?
The Boerne Master Plan established the vision for the community, and that was adopted in 2018. With the passage of the Master Plan, work was able to commence on the Unified Development Code based on what residents said they want the city to look like going forward. Conversion to the Unified Development Code is intended to make the development process more efficient in Boerne and to facilitate design oversight in keeping with the community's vision.
Am I going to have to make any changes where I live or work?
Well, the short answer is no. Homeowners will continue to reside in their home just as they always have, and business owners will continue to operate in the same location as they always have.
If I'm not going to see any changes, what will change?
Well, you know, in recent years, the state legislature has taken many steps to make it difficult for cities to regulate development and growth in their cities. But what we can do is influence the types of development that occur. So with the UDC, there will be changes to our sign ordinances, as well as additional tree preservation ordinances, how a piece of land is zoned, And it will be adding new overlay districts, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. The goal is to have every part of our city continue to feel and maintain the character it was intended while allowing for responsible growth.
How much of this process has been made available to the public, and where can I find those updates?
From the beginning, we knew how important it would be to keep the community informed about the work we were doing and what they could expect. Because of that, we had several open house meetings and developer forums. We also spoke regularly at City Council meetings and at Planning and Zoning Commission meetings so that people would know what to expect and would be able to follow along with the project as it developed.
Getting back to overlays, why do we need so many?
Well, you know, for a small city, Boerne has many areas of unique characteristics and charm. These overlays will help maintain those characteristics. For example, Main Street and River Road have a uniquely different feel compared to Sobo. By having customized design oversight, we are helping maintain the identity of each area while creating a robust economy during a period of significant growth for our city.
Who was involved in this process, and how long did it take?
Between the main steering committee and the subcommittee, more than a dozen of your fellow Boerne neighbors helped to craft this code. Between public meetings and public presentations to both City Council and Planning and Zoning Commission, this topic has been a major focal point of work since early last year.
What additional environmental safeguards are being enacted?
Being in the heart of Flash Flood Alley, Boerne is no stranger to flooding. That's why the Unified Development Code has additional protections for our watershed. In addition to including the new Low Impact Development Ordinance, this new Unified Development Code will also strengthen our tree ordinance to account for tree canopy coverage, ensuring that we have quality, beautiful trees. These changes will have our regulations fall in line with other Hill Country communities, and in some cases be models for what other Hill Country communities can do to preserve the natural environment of the Texas Hill Country.
As you can imagine, this is a complicated topic, and trying to condense this 400-page plus document down into just a couple-minute video is complicated. So here's what you can do. If you have questions, you can reach out to me directly or your City Council representative. So you know a lot more about the Unified Development Code. Like I said, if you have questions, you know who to reach out to. Take care, everybody.